Welcome, Watchers. Thanks for visiting again. Let's get right into it. Daily, we walk around on this solid ground. We build our houses. We drive our cars. We think everything underneath us is just one big, solid piece of rock. But that's definitely not the whole story. Imagine, if you will, that the Earth's dirt is similar to a giant, beautiful ceramic plate. There's pressure, there's heat, and sometimes that beautiful plate cracks. Those cracks are what we call fault lines. They are the hidden scars of our lands, deep fractures where massive pieces of rock have scraped and pushed against each other. Let me share something about my hometown, Massachusetts. You see, it's covered in these scars. You can't always see them, but they are there, crisscrossing the state like a secret map known only to the earth itself. These aren't just little cracks in the pavement. We're talking about profound fissures that run for miles deep down into the bedrock. Long before scientists with their fancy instruments and seismographs came along, there were people who knew this land intimately. I'm talking about the native peoples, the Wampanoag, the Nipmuc, the Massachusetts, Pocasset, and many more. They didn't need a map from a university to tell them where the earth was different. They could feel it. They could see it. They were the original geologists. They noticed how certain lines of trees grew differently, or how streams and rivers would take sharp, unnatural turns. They saw how some valleys were unusually straight, as if a giant had dragged a spear across the landscape. They learned that these lines were often where you'd find special resources. Springs of fresh, clean water might bubble up along these fractures. Certain types of stone, perfect for making tools, could be found where the earth had been broken and pushed to the surface. Their survival depended on reading these signs. The paths they created, the very first trails in this land, often followed these lines of geological weakness. These ancient paths became the basis for many of the roads and highways we still use today. So, Massachusetts sits atop a web of hidden fault lines, quietly shaping the land beneath our feet. The Clinton-Newbury Fault stretches from central Massachusetts all the way to Newburyport on the coast. The Bloody Bluff Fault runs through towns like Marlborough and Framingham, while the Mattapan Fault slices beneath the Boston area. The Weston Fault, though shorter, also plays a part in the state's hidden geology. While Massachusetts isn't California, it's not immune to earthquakes. In 2023, a minor magnitude 2.3 tremor was felt near Bliss Corner. The last major earthquake struck in 1755 off the coast of Cape Ann, estimated at magnitude 6.2. It toppled chimneys in Boston and was felt as far as South Carolina and Nova Scotia. These hidden faults and occasional tremors remind us that the story of Massachusetts is still being written deep underground. Now, let's talk about something we don't hear about often. Here's one for you. That Clinton-Newbury Fault I mentioned. Yeah, it's not just some ancient history. It's considered one of the most significant fault systems in all of New England. Scientists believe that it was the suture line where an ancient volcanic island chain slammed into the North American continent. Now imagine that collision. In 1755, a powerful earthquake, estimated to be around a 6.2 magnitude, struck off the coast of Cape Ann. It was so strong it toppled chimneys in Boston and was felt as far away as Nova Scotia and South Carolina. And what about the risk today? Well, the ground beneath us is still settling. The U.S. Geological Survey says that there is a real, though small, possibility of a damaging earthquake happening in the Massachusetts area. You can live your whole life in a town like Marlborough or Bolton, right on top of a major fault zone, and never know it. There's no giant canyon, no sign that says you are now crossing the Bloody Bluff Fault. The evidence is subtle, written in the geology for those who know how to read it. It's in the alignment of valleys, the composition of the bedrock, and the occasional tiny tremor that most people mistake for a heavy truck rumbling by. So, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, this is interesting ancient history, but what does it have to do with me today? Understanding these fault lines, these deep stories of the earth, matters more than you think. We can't continue to build and not consider the land and what the creation prefers. As we build more, as we plan for the future, understanding this hidden architecture is crucial. The earth shows us the best places to build, to continue to work hand in hand with the land. This is how our Creator made our earth. We should honor that. It's for our protection. Ultimately, learning about these fault lines is about reconnecting with a wisdom that the first peoples of this land never lost. They knew the earth was alive, full of stories, power, and memory. So next time you go for a walk, feel the ground beneath your feet. Think about the immense slow-motion drama that has played out right where you stand. Remember the cracks, the scars, and the deep history, because knowing what lies beneath may be part of your healing journey. The story is still there, written in the rocks, waiting for us to be willing to see the spirit of truth in everything. As we close our journey today, take a moment to look around at the trees, the sky, the rocks beneath your feet. Every part of creation holds a story, an ancient wisdom that invites us to listen and live in harmony. The land speaks, and when we pay attention, we become caretakers, not just builders, but partners with the earth itself. Let's choose to honor the Creator of all by caring for this creation we have been given, respecting what it prefers, and working hand in hand with nature's design. Every small act of attention and gratitude helps protect this incredible plane for generations to come. If you found value in these stories, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Feel free to share your own experiences and thoughts below. We enjoy hearing how you connect with the land where you live. Together, we can grow a community dedicated to understanding, respect, and hope. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, a life without Christ is never balanced. Step outside, breathe deeply. You are a part of this unfolding story. Until next time, pay attention to the rumbling. It may not only be a dump truck or big rig going by,